The Chicago Bulls lose a game to the Washington Wizards. Why the Atlanta Hawks beat the Boston Celtics. We're going to talk about this loss, what all went out to it, how the Chicago Bulls continue to just show a lack of really care and urgency in some of these games, and Billy Donovan's coaching decisions just get even more wild and more wild down the stretch of these games and in this season. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans, welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform that we happen to be on. The Bulls lose a game to the Washington Wizards by 2. This was a game in which the sense of urgency was not there for the Chicago Bulls throughout most of this game. They scored 17 points in the first quarter. They do go on to win the second and third quarters in this game, and then they just lose the fourth quarter. But this was a game that the Bulls just never really seemed like they were all the way having a grasp on. They just did not have the execution down the stretch of this game. And once again, Billy Donovan's rotations leave much to be desired in this game. Yeah, we have 5 players to score in double figures. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan with 27 points, Ayo Dosunmu with 12, Kobe White with 22 points. You got Andre Drummond with 10 points and 12 rebounds. You also have Alex Caruso with 12 points off the bench, adding some much-needed bench scoring. Javon Carter even had a pretty solid game, 16 minutes played, 8 minutes. Dalen Terry with 11 minutes, no really stats registers, just Tony Snell's stat line. But the thing that comes down to it with this game is the situational awareness, not only by Billy Donovan as a head coach, but also by the players. This was a game where there were so many mistakes made, mental lapses made in plays that this Bulls team just does not have it. Needs to be a wake-up call. If this Bulls team really wants to make this play-in, right, or maybe they don't. I don't give a damn if they do or don't at this point in time. You got to wake up. You now move to only 1.5 games above the Atlanta Hawks, who beat the Boston Celtics tonight. This is just not a game. You cannot lose games in this manner if you're trying to make a serious go at it. You just can't. And then that last second shot by DeMar DeRozan. Let's talk about the final shot of the game. What the fuck was DeMar DeRozan thinking? No court vision by DeMar DeRozan. I would assume it would have had an open shot or drive to the lane. Now, yeah, there was only about 1 second left, but I would assume a much better three-point shooter than DeMar DeRozan. It just seemed like one of those shots, one of those situations where DeMar DeRozan had it in his head, I'm about to take this last shot regardless of anything else. He got tunnel vision on that last shot, and it absolutely, I'm not going to say caused the Bulls the game, because the Bulls are in a situation, the way they're playing, I don't think anybody would have expected them to try to win this game. But like, it just, this loss, this game perfectly just brings together what the Chicago Bulls season has been: a bunch of utter crap. It's just a whole bunch of stuff on this team that just does not make sense, man. And we just keep going through the same rigmarole night in and night out. And it's just like, at this point, what the hell are we doing, man? What are we doing? It's just disappointing. And then the coaching by Billy Donovan. Listen here. When Andre Drummond was on the court, right? When he was on the court, we outscored in 18 minutes. We outscored the Washington Wizards by 9. We had a defensive rating of 102. Keep in mind, the league average defensive rating is 110. If you're sub 110, the lower number's better. That's damn good. A defensive rating of 102. A rebounding rate of 46%. We were getting 46.9, 47% of the rebounds with Andre Drummond on the court than what we were doing with Nikola Vucevic on the court. It's night and day. It's these type of things that just make you look at it and just ask yourself, what the hell? What is the coaching staff looking at to flip that? When Nikola Vucevic was on the court, 29 minutes played by Vooch, we had a plus minus of -8, a net rating of -14, a defensive rating of 108, which is still solid enough, right? A rebounding rate of 46%, a pace of 101. Everything that the Bulls like to do was done better in this game with Andre Drummond on the court. And this is when it comes to the situational awareness. Biden, am I saying the Bulls would have won this game if Andre Drummond was on the court? No, I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying this is that you have to try to play your percentages. You have to try to let the game, the feel of the game dictate. And Billy Donovan, as a head coach in the NBA, has no feel for the game. Great coaches have a feel for the game. Hell, even some slightly above average coaches have really good feels for the game. Billy Donovan has none of that. He has no feel for the game. He has his predetermined rotations that he goes to. He may vary off that a little bit, but that's even kind of predetermined. Well, if this doesn't work, we're going to go to this. Billy Donovan has no bag when it comes to coaching. And I know people say that about players, but Billy Donovan has no coaching bag whatsoever. And I get it. He's not going to go anywhere, so I'm not going to complain about it too much. But when you continue hitting your head against the same wall repeatedly, at some point you gotta wake up, right? And this team, again, part of the reason why this team is in the part that they're in and why it's them coming out of this is so bleak for some Bulls fans is that this team locks into a head coach that hadn't shown you very much. You locked into that. You are terrified to move off any major pieces of this roster to try to improve this team. That you're trying to. What are you keeping the same? AK is literally holding this roster together, like holding on to a bad marriage. And at some point, you gotta let the shit go to breathe, to thrive, to hell survive. It's come on, man. Come on. And I see Vern. This isn't even like coaching in college. We got to stop using that blanket response of it's like coaching in college because guess what? College coaches make adjustments every single day. College coaches use situational awareness. They go deep into their bench and they use players that maybe you. How many players in the NCAA tournament have we already seen play big roles on teams that maybe they didn't have the biggest role doing? So you can't even throw the blanket. Oh, Billy Donovan coaches like a college coach. No, because college coaches are smart too. College coaches don't lack adjustments. They aren't stupid. Billy Donovan coaches this team like a fucking idiot. He coaches this team like somebody who does not have to worry about his job. And that's the problem with this team. Not the only problem, but that is one of the problems with this team. On top of the fact that you had a team in the Washington Wizards against you that shot 28% from three. You know what we did? We matched it. 28% from three. But you know what? They made 4 more three-pointers than us. You know how many points we lost this game by? 2. Once again, the Chicago Bulls not only lose to effort, being outworked, but they lose to simple math, man. You know how many teams get technically outworked or other teams have more energy than them, but their execution is what gets them in the game? That's the thing that's hurting this Bulls team. Yeah, we have we're missing some talent, right? But this was a Washington Wizards team of G League talent that came in and basically said, hey, we're trying to earn roster spots for next year. We want to make sure that we look good. And they outworked you guys every step of the way. And it was embarrassing. And that's the problem with this Bulls team as well. They don't get embarrassed by losses. We need to bring shame back. Can we shame this team? Is that possible? Can we shame the Chicago Bulls? Because I tell you what, they need some shame for this game. This was just disgusting, and everybody had their part in it. That last shot by DeMar DeRozan was one of the most low IQ basketball shots that you will ever see in your life. And 9 for 22 from the field for 27. It wasn't the most efficient night for DeMar DeRozan. Now, he did get 5 steals. He got 6 assists. He got 2 rebounds. I want to give him credit for that. Torrey Craig looked old. Nikola Vucevic didn't wake up until the second half of the game. Thank God he decided to show up at some point and rebound some goddamn basketballs because Lord knows he didn't score worth a goddamn. In a game where you have the most size out there, you couldn't score on nobody, right? You might as well rebound a goddamn basketball for a time or two. This was a game where the game was sitting there for the Bulls in the second half of this game. And throughout most of the game, Kobe White took only 8 shots. 8 shots in the second half of this game. And of those 8 shots, 6 of those came in the fourth quarter, and he went 1 for 6. It's not just Billy Donovan. It's not just the last second shot by DeMar DeRozan. It's a complete ineptitude on this team from top to goddamn bottom. And that's the problem that lays there with this team. What the hell are we doing, yo? What are we doing? Like at some point, you got to look at the team and ask it, do you even want to be here? Do you want to go to the play-in? Or are you ready for the season to be over because you guys want to go on vacation? What's happening here, yo? This is sad, bro. The way that this team executes, and it's always on our home court at that. Maybe we're better off going to the 10th seed but the fans don't have to pay money to go to the fucking United Center to see their team get their ass kicked. Because this was an embarrassing performance by a team that should have been playing better than this. I don't care. And it's not even just about the Washington Wizards and their record. You should just have more pride in yourself. And that's what it comes down. Every year we end it on the same shit with this Chicago Bulls team. This team has no heart. This team has no guts. This team has no good coaching. This team ain't got it, man. The it factor that other teams go into when they want to win and they want to put in that little bit of extra effort to get that dub, this team doesn't have it, bro. It don't have it. And that's where this team is going to keep faltering at. That's where this team is going to keep coming up short at. That's where this team is going to keep failing at because they just don't have that extra it factor. They don't have it, bro. None. And so this loss is a result and culmination of getting outworked, getting outcoached, and not giving a damn. Because you don't give a damn about the fans in the UC when you put up a 17-point first quarter. You don't give a damn about the fans in the UC when you perform like this in front of your home crowd full of blue-collar people who spend their money, their hard-earned money, to come to the United Center to see this bull-crappy-ass team play. What are we doing? It's just, it makes no sense, man. It ultimately makes no sense the way that this team performs at a time where they should be playing their hardest. They have no heart, and thus they have no future. And I mean this season alone, right? You know, we could talk about this team going on a run or whatever to end the season. We have one of the easiest schedules left in the NBA. How confident do you guys really feel about this team's ability to make a run in this, right? And people were talking about just a couple of days ago, oh, we can get to the seventh seed. The seventh seed, we ain't even going to hold on to the ninth seed in the way that we're playing right now. Situational awareness by your players and your coaching staff, the fact that both of those are in the damn toilet leads this team to be where they are right now. And that's just it. That's just is what it is. Like, and until they want it more than the other team, have we like it doesn't feel like that. It feels like this team, they get down and then they want to wake up, but it never feels like they want it more than the other team because you'd execute more. You'd move without the ball. This team falters at every major turn that they have. And that's just where it is. That's probably where it's going to be, unfortunately. Anthony King, team is trash. Team isn't trash, man. The execution may be trash, but team ain't trash. I understand Kobe White, Io didn't have a great game tonight, but Vucevic, you really have to say even Javon Carter looked better than you tonight. Yeah, I mean, listen, Javon Carter played really good tonight. I'm so thankful they lost. There are two things I care about: getting the 11th pick over the 12th pick, and two, having the Bulls lose so management wakes up. I don't understand why you root for them, because you root for what are you talking about? You root for your team. I'm sorry, but that's just dumbass fan logic. You can't be a fan of a team and say, why do you root for your team? If you're really a fan, you would know why you root for your team. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Look, I'm gonna let it go. Embarrassing loss to the Wizards. Absolutely an embarrassing loss, Anthony. Vooch said after this game, Vooch, he turned it on rebounding wise in the second half of this game, but that's really about it. Didn't look like Kobe trying to get DeMar to pass it to him. Plus, DeMar scored a point during fourth drought for the Bulls. Only him isn't enough. So before blaming him, please think before the comment. It's not about blaming him, but that was a terrible shot. Two things can be true at the same time. Yeah, DeMar DeRozan was it for us in the fourth quarter because nobody else was playing like. But that shot was terrible. That was a terrible shot. I don't care how good he played in the rest of the fourth quarter. That was a terrible shot. Terrible shot selection. And you got to put a little bit on Billy Donovan as well, because why didn't you draw something up? JDH, I'm with you. I don't watch a single game until the play-in starting from tonight. I bet they lose against the Hawks too. Listen, they lose against the Hawks. You might as well kiss that ninth seed goodbye, man. This is a good thing that they lost. It's a wake-up call. It's not a wake-up call. Listen, this team lost to the Detroit Pistons twice. It really feels like and they're not going to be at the bottom. They're not nearly at the bottom of the league. So no. And the pick next year is top 10 protected, not this year. So losing this year doesn't do shit for the Bulls except get them a couple of more lottery balls, right? That's the case. And then even then, we still know that this Bulls team could turn it on in the play-in. He's talking off the ledge just when I thought Bulls were on the verge of five. Listen, but I've been telling you guys, I've been warning you, 500 ain't coming. It's not coming. Billy made no adjustments, straight up trash. Yeah, none. Someone just needs to be slapped this game. Soft bitch ass Vooch, bitch ass Billy Donovan, Kobe DeMar Caruso. Someone needs to get effing slapped for real hard in the face tonight. No, they just need to wake up and have some pride about themselves. The scoring droughts really baffled me. We scored like 11 points in the fourth. We had a 5-minute scoring drought in the fourth. And the thing that makes that so bad, right, is that you had a 5-minute scoring drought, and the Wizards weren't really scoring either. They scored more than us, but the lead at that point was still only 4. Still only 4. A 5-minute scoring drought in the fourth quarter, and you're still only down by 4. You got to be able to take advantage of that, man. You got to be able to take advantage of it. Billy chooses players for the lineups. But that's the player's fault. Billy chooses the formations for the team, but that's on the players. Billy chooses the practice format, but that's on the play. What are you talking about? All of it's because players got to execute. Regardless of who chooses the formation, you got to execute. So that doesn't abstain the players either. The blame is all around on players and the coaching staff. Wow, WTF, this team is comical. Absolutely, bro. I'm not saying that Andre Drummond was doing the best tonight, but Jesus Christ, only 5 shots for Nikola Vucevic, shaking my head. I mean, listen, I'd rather him not shoot than shoot us out of a game if he just knows he doesn't have it going. Man, I just want to go to effing bed. We have no real effing fight. I want to be so upset, but why? When this team showed us the same things most of the season. Feel you. Vooch literally looking like he didn't want to be on the floor tonight. I wouldn't say that, but I don't know what, like, you with the last game against the Wizards, Vooch kept us in that game. He cooked, right? Got angry, did the too small on a player. Where was that Vooch at tonight? First quarter killed us. Absolutely. Last thing I will say, remember everyone, this is hopefully we'll wake AK up. I root for them to lose so we get a better draft pick so we don't bring back this team. Let's sink to the bottom. I'm muting you because you're a fucking idiot. And you're not making any fucking sense other than just repeating the same dumbass shit. And yes, thanks for not. You can't. So let me. You know, I like to be realism. I'm all for Billy bashing, but you can't challenge a non-call. Something has to be called for you to challenge it. They didn't call anything on that, right? So you can't challenge that. They could have challenged the foul, which I think he already got called. Like, they called Kobe for a foul, but you can't challenge him hanging on the rim. That's not something that you can challenge there, brother. Does anyone else see Vooch as just complete garbage on defense? That this is just for the comments. I think everybody sees it. He's always been trash on defense, though. This isn't new. I'm not even mad about this BS. I can't wait until the season is over with so we can close. So we was close to 500. We lose 3 in a row every time, every single time, every time. Refs missed a lot of calls. Yeah, they did. Refs did, but again, you shouldn't even be in that position. The season needs to end already. This team is effing embarrassment. Listen, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to ask you guys this. What does ending the season really do if the front office doesn't wake up? If they don't wake up, it doesn't matter. Deanna says Kobe was open too. Yep, definitely. And that's why I say it was just a bad execution down the stretch of the game. That was a terrible last second shot. You have to ask yourself, why does this team come out unprepared, playing at a deficit? They have no heart. King Solomon says mediocre team can't even get to 500. I mean, I try to warn you guys. I know everybody was excited about the prospect of getting to 500, but it's just not going to happen. Lose to the worst team in the NBA, and on top of that, top it off with the Wizards are injured with 7 players. LOL, no excuses. Listen, you lost to the Detroit Pistons twice. You lost to the Wizards. Now, it sucks, man. The Green play tonight? No, you're not going to see. I keep telling y'all, you're not going to see him. Roster upgrades are needed for sure, but the biggest issue is the incompetence at the coaching position. Dude is horrible. Well, unfortunately, we're locked in with Billy Donovan. He ain't going nowhere, man. AK is Andy. Lonzo is Woody with that Rip Can, and Debo's Buzz Lightyear and has been relevant player. No, he's not a has been. That's just stupid. Just stupid. Tank for who the fuck would tank for Zach Edey, who's not even going to be drafted? Y'all just be saying some stupid shit. Y'all just be saying really stupid shit. Haize, they got embarrassed, bro, by role players. And once again, when you play down your level of competition, you get played. There wasn't playing. See, that's the thing. We got to stop saying play down to your level of competition. This was incompetence. That's not playing down. Playing down is when you play lackadaisical on purpose. We see this every day for the Chicago Bulls. This isn't something that we just see against the down competition. We see this against the good teams. We see this against the bad teams. That's just who this team is. This wasn't playing down. This was getting outworked. When you say play down to your competition, what you do is you take away giving props to the way that the other team played. No, the Wizards came in here and executed their game plan. The Wizards came in here and played with energy. That wasn't playing down. The Wizards came in here and took it. That's what that was. To top it off, the Washington Wizards have nothing to play for. We're still fighting for a competitive playing spot. This loss is inexcusable. A lot of people are going to feel the way that you did, bro. No bag Billy does it again. And that shot from DeMar is why I argue Zach hasn't had the chances to become the guy in DeMar era. And if not careful, neither will Kobe or Ayo if DeMar sticks around. No, but Zach LaVine had 5 years before DeMar DeRozan got here to try to do that. You got to earn that. And so he hasn't. Zach LaVine has continually showed bad basketball IQ down the stretch of games. That's why DeMar is here. Had Zach LaVine showed some of that, DeMar may have not been here. You maybe still sign Lonzo, but maybe you go a different way with your money. The reason why DeMar was brought here is because guess what? DeMar can get to the free throw line. DeMar can score in the fourth quarter. Zach LaVine has continually showed over his NBA career an inability to play smart basketball down the stretch. We got to stop trying to bail somebody out because of somebody else's flaws. Both things can be true. Zach LaVine is just a bad closer. His basketball IQ kills him every single time in fourth quarters. We've seen 5 games in Zach LaVine's career where he played good stretches down the fourth quarters of that. That's it. So you can't just say, oh, well, he hasn't had the chance to do it in the DeMar DeRozan era. Yeah, but what about the 5 years before then? What about the 5 years before then? That's all I'm saying. The Bulls have played like absolute garbage at home this season. No, they haven't played like absolute garbage. They're 1 game below 500 now. That's just not correct. Now, should they be playing better to what we are used to for the Chicago Bulls playing at home? We're used to the UC rocking. We're used to the Chicago Bulls killing it. Teams not wanting to come to the UC, but they haven't played like absolute crap. They haven't. I hope the Bulls do get a higher draft pick, but yeah, Caruso missing dunks. Yeah, that missing dunk thing was wild. And then you don't expect, but Caruso doesn't usually do that either, right? My Bulls play a lot better on the road. No, they don't. They have a way worse record on the road. We're talking about, I think, 3 more losses on the road. I think something like that. We just need to wake up during home games. Go Bulls, see red. Chicago Bulls play the Boston Celtics like they were contenders, and we lose to a bomb team. Man. Haize, are you worried about Kobe? I think he's still hurt. I think he came back too quickly. I mean, I don't think he's hurt because they wouldn't have cleared him if he was still hurt at all. I think that he's still finding his way back. I mean, he played pretty well in the first half of this game. It's just Kobe still has some of those inconsistencies, right? We've seen it before Kobe. We've seen games like this from Kobe before he was ever hurt. So I think that points to being just something that Kobe needs to work out for sure. Kobe 2-11 from 3-point is crazy. It's not the worst that we've seen from him. You remember where he went? It was like, what was it? 0 of 17 over like 3 games, or maybe it was like 22 3-pointers he missed in a row. So the Bulls and Billy Donovan seriously just told all of their fans that the season is over. They don't give a fucking. They didn't tell anybody that. Yeah, that's not what they told anybody. That's a bit of an overreaction. I get it. We're all upset, but I try to, even in my upsetness, be more level-headed. I agree. But Billy is the biggest issue to me, regardless of what roster changes happen, bro. No, it's not. Like, here's the thing: the holes in this roster are glaring. The no rim protection for 3 years. The no depth at a big man position for 3 years, right? The lack of 3-point shooting for 3 years. Those things are there's not very many coaches that can overcome that. Now, I will say this: Billy and his lack of situational awareness definitely hurts the team and adds to that. But the roster is the most important thing first, because even sometimes Mildly competent coaches can coach. Like Vinny Del Negro has a winning record in the NBA. He has a above 500 record as a coach overall for his career. You know why? Because he had competent rosters that made sense. So, you got to look at that part of to it as well. I guarantee you I could show more effort. No, bro, first of all, I got to read the rest of this because it's funny. But secondly, I need you to put a trigger warning on there. You got to warn me because I almost just laughed. I'm glad that you can have fun and joke with it, but that just caught me off guard. So Shay says, I want everybody, don't clip this shit and make it seem like Haize was making fun of anybody. Shay, who has cerebral palsy, is the one who made this joke, not Haize. Haize, I guarantee you I can show more effort having cerebral palsy in my legs, the knees, sorry motherfuckers, than these sorry motherfuckers. Listen, I bet you could have got more rebounds than Nikola Vucevic today. Definitely think you could have. Haize, what do you think will wake AK up to make necessary changes to the team and coach? I mean, I don't think coaching changes are coming because that's more than just AK. I think that's also the Reinsdorfs are involved in this now. I told you guys 2 years ago. Now I think it was before. Whenever it was before Billy Donovan got his extension, the summer before then, when Billy Donovan was interviewed, and he said, I talked to Jerry Reinsdorf every day. I literally got on here and said, Billy's not going nowhere no time soon. The moment that he said that, I talked to the Reinsdorfs every day. I was like, oh, it's done. Billy Donovan is going to be here for the long run. I literally said that. Then that's before we found out about the contract extension. That's before any of that. Because that's just who it is, man. That's who it is. Haize, do you think Kobe can be MIP this season? Yeah, this does not change that for me. To be fair, the years DeMar, the Bulls roster was very bad or often injured, so Zach wasn't in any. I'm not about meaningful games. It's about how you execute down the stretch of games, though. It's how you execute. You still got to earn those opportunities. You can execute well in the fourth quarter, and you just look at it and say, hey, your team didn't have enough. He's been bad, bro. Sorry. Zach LaVine's been always bad in fourth quarters. He's always been bad in close games in fourth quarters, always. In honor of your shirt, we saw Caruso get his 1,100 steal. MJ had multiple seasons with 200 plus steals. Think how crazy that is because it feels like Caruso gets a lot of steals. Imagine double Caruso. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Listen, I agree with you. Shout out to Shay. That was literally a great joke by Shay there. That was one of Shay's best jokes. I just had to preface that, which I want about Kobe White shooting tonight. But at the end of the day, when you are 7 foot and only took 5 shots and you're 3 for 5, not only that you average 18 points this season. The thing with Nikola Vucevic is he pissed me off. He pissed me off when he passed out of so many situations with smaller players on him. It sucks. The team only having 4 minutes is wild. He should have gotten more minutes. Billy Donovan is destroying man's confidence. I don't think that. How are you going to earn the opportunity against trash teams? Stupid. You're a fucking dumbass if you don't think that your play matters. And nobody said against trash teams. It's fucking idiot. Like, it's like the Bulls don't care as long as they in the play-in, which is crazy. I mean, they're gonna make the play-in regardless, right? They'd have to lose so many of the games left. And let me say that let's not act like we haven't seen this team win like 7 games over the last 32 a couple of seasons ago. But yeah, if that's their barrier of success, if this team is happy because they're gonna make the play-in, man, that's crazy. A sad loss, but give the Wizards credit. But the Bulls are locked into the 9th spot. That's why I did say you have to give the Wizards credit. That's why I won't just say that the Bulls played down the competition. The Wizards came in here and played a lot better than the Chicago Bulls, and they played like they wanted to win this game. Anytime I see the initials CW, I think of Caleb Williams. I keep forgetting Kobe White got the same initials. Excuse my PTSD. I can understand where you're getting from with that. Haize, believe it or not, we're actually in the penalty for like the 11 minutes of the fourth quarter, and we didn't even take advantage of it. This is what it is, man. Well, on that one, we respectfully disagree, but hopefully they can turn this around and make it into the playoffs. I mean, listen, I don't care. At this point, really, all jokes aside, not that this is a draft that's worth tanking for, because it's not. But this is like you give yourself more opportunities at players. That's the way I look at it. If the Bulls don't make it out the play-in tournament, it's not the worst thing. They'll have a lottery pick. I'm not expecting them to win the lottery or anything, but you get more opportunities. You get a bigger pool of players to choose from. That way you don't have to worry about maybe somebody that you have number one on your board, a team getting ahead of you if you were to make it into the playoffs, for example. So, it's not all lost if the Bulls don't make it out the play-in tournament today. It's just not. I mean, this season, not today. This season. Agreed. I know we're flawed, but you mean to tell me that this team with three all-star caliber players, Caruso is a great defender, great rebound, and Drummond, good young players, and we can't get to 500? Well, we don't have three all-star caliber players. I mean, let's just be clear here. We don't have three all-star caliber players. Nikola Vucevic isn't an all-star anymore. Zach LaVine wasn't playing like an all-star when he's playing. He was fitting in on this team when he came back from his injury, but he wasn't playing like an all-star this season. Kobe White, his play at times looked like it could be a player that could make the all-star, but he wasn't, again, inconsistent. He's not making. So we don't have three. We have three former all-stars. That ain't doing shit for you today. Yesterday's price is not today's price. So this team, with all the energies that they've dealt with, it's been solid, but we got a lot of things that we need to work on, man. A lot of things that we need to work on. Who do you think the players that will be out of the roster next season? This team doesn't prove anything big. I really do hope that there's a big roster changes upcoming season. I don't know, bro. I really do not know. I don't know what's going to happen. Don't know. Low key, this would be the lottery we win just for bro. That absolutely would. You're not wrong on that one, right? This would be one of those times where the Bulls go in as like number 12 in the lottery or whatever, and somehow we end up winning. It'd just be crazy. This would be the lottery that happens. It's because they are wasting Caruso's talent. Believe me, Alex is great, but he deserves better, and we could have gotten at least something decent for the guy. Listen, you're not wasting a player that wants to be on your team. That's not wasting anybody's talents. He's absolutely helping this team be better than what it would be without him. It's crazy how Vooch seems to be aging by the day. He looks like a 35-year-old vet forced into the lineup against his will. I mean, I wish I could defend it, but I can't. This is a weird day for the NBA. Celtics blew a second half 30-point lead against the depleted Atlanta. Vegas wins. That's crazy. We should just get the 10th seed. We play much better away than home. We really don't, though. That's just not accurate. I don't know where people get that off at. Bulls end up with Klay Thompson next season. That's not going to happen either. The thing that annoys me is that they still suck in getting fast break or 3-on-1 fast break points, mostly from the guards like Caruso, Kobe, and Io. They had a lot of opportunities this game. Hey, it sucks, man. I know this may sound crazy, but I think Nikola Vucevic would fit very well on the Golden State Warriors because he's surrounded by shooters and good defenders that could make up for his lack of D. First of all, his lack of D is crazy. No Diddy. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, bro. He's not going anywhere. They're not trading him. I know this may sound crazy, but I think Nikola Vucevic would fit very well. Oh, I already read this. What are you talking about? He deserves much better as that too, honest. No, but you're a dumbass and your mama shouldn't have birthed you. The fact that who deserved much better, your mom should have swallowed you. Your mom deserved to have to taste the failure that was the child that she birthed. That's what happened. Your mama should have swallowed you so she could taste the failure. Taste failure in her mouth because you're just an idiot. And this is not the chat for you to come in here and try to troll. You must be new to Chicago Bulls Central. Welcome. Now you're a victim. So now what are we doing here? What are we doing? Haize, the Hawks can 100% knock the Bulls out of the play, and they lack heart. Oh, fact. Hey, listen, anybody can knock the Bulls out the play. That's just a fact. Bro, I get it, all-star or former, but I still feel that despite the flaws in certain areas, we should still be better than what we are. We need new talent, yes, but also a new voice. I'm not disagreeing with you there. Not disagreeing with you. Taste the failure in her mouth. I'm just saying. Just saying, she definitely could have tasted the failure, bro. Like, it is what it is. And Rookie says I'll be having bad takes. That's crazy. Vern, would you bring back Torrey Craig? I mean, Torrey Craig is under contract next year. Is it a team option? I don't. I think he has a guaranteed contract next year. So I think Torrey Craig's coming back unless you're including him in a deal to kind of sweeten it for another team. But which could be possible because Torrey Craig. Oh, he has a player option, so he decides if he comes back. But it's only $2.8 million. So you think the Bulls are going far in the playoffs the way that no, what, wait, what? No, who thinks the Bulls are going far in the playoffs? No, not taste the fail. I'm telling you, just listen. The crazy part is that despite clearly not giving a shit about the game, the players get so pissed about not getting calls. Then they start trucking other players to make a point. That's crazy. The Bulls got to stop losing their composure for sure, though. Like that's something that definitely got to get it together. Haize, do you think if the Bulls missed the play-in tourney, would that make Acme? Nothing's gonna make Acme make moves. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Tonight was my last Bulls game. No, because I'm gonna need you actually to fill in for me sometime next week. So you're gonna have to at least watch that game, player. AK sure loves his POs and his contract. Yeah, yeah. Steve retired from play-by-play. I didn't even get to watch it. I wish I would have watched it, man. I need to watch you guys more when you're over there, man. Sign Brawlin Scalabrine as assistant coach and Tony Snell on 10-day to give this team the spark they need. The spark? What spark is that providing? Like the only thing that Tony Snell could provide people is a spark to make sure that they wash their face and take care of their skin because Lord knows Tony Snell looks like Seal, the singer. But Seal actually got burnt as a kid. Like, what's Tony Snell's excuse? That's me. That was me. I apologize. That was me. This game really reminded me of last year's game when we lost to the Miami Heat. Andre Drummond gave us a big boost, and Billy Donovan took him out, and Kobe White in that game as well. As the Bulls need a little rebuild, like to get rid of Zach, maybe other guys, and keep Kobe, DeMar, and Drummond. Okay, let me ask you this. Why is everybody so enamored with keeping DeMar? It's just inflating the situation for the Chicago Bulls. To me. Like, and that's not a knock on DeMar. Like I said, DeMar's played well enough to earn another contract, but that doesn't mean it needs to be with the Chicago Bulls. It just doesn't. Ryan Poles is the best GM in Chicago. Oh, that's a fact. Give the keys to Kobe and Io next season. DeMar deserves the contract, but not in the Bulls uniform. A lot of people agree with that. Another thing to add about Acme is we sadly don't know how long Billy Donovan's secret extension is, which I don't understand. Bulls reporters don't know either. This is too much of a secret. This is one of the more complexing things that have ever happened in Bulls history. The fact that you have a head coach that actively signed a contract extension and nobody seems to know why. Nobody knows why. Let's say the Bulls finish the season in the 9th seed. Do you think they're making? No, I think that they can make it out the play-in. I do think that they can. They have the ability to make it out the play-in. Do I think they will make it out the play-in? You know, I haven't predicted Bulls wins and losses for 3 years. You think I'm going to start now? Hell no. Haize, what would you do over the next 2 seasons to change this roster without a coaching change? First thing is, like I said, next season, I'm letting DeMar walk or doing a sign and trade, mainly because I think that DeMar gets this Bulls team probably at least 5 to 10 more wins in the season. And I want to see how the young players step so we can eliminate any excuses, right? Who's going to step up with the absence of DeMar DeRozan? At that point, if they step up, great. You have some players that you can build around. If they don't, you're going to probably keep your pick that's top 10 protected next year. Then you get a lottery pick in a really deep draft. That's the first step. That is the first step. The second step, we're playing with a quicker pace. Not run and gun, not 7 seconds or less, but we're playing with a quicker pace. And we're getting a young center in this draft. I'm just waiting on next season to see Lonzo come back. You got some big hopes there because that's not likely. Why would DeMar want to come back unless it's for insane amounts of money? What does sticking on this team do for him? I mean, some players just want stability. Like, some people just don't want to have to learn another team, to go through another coach, to learn your pecking order in another team. Like, some people just don't want that. Not trying to get roasted, but why are you so past DeMar being on this team, but wanted Vooch back last summer? Bulls need Vooch over DeMar. No, again, I explained this very heavily. The Bulls didn't have money to replace Nikola Vucevic. That's a very different situation. And also, at that point in time last season, you're expecting your young players to step up. You're expecting Zach LaVine to also come back and finish how he finished last season extremely strong, right? It's a completely different scenario than what it is now. Now, Zach is probably on his way out the door. Now this team is now in a place where we do have young players on reasonable contracts that you want to take advantage of. You don't want to waste 3 years of players in their prime on reasonable contracts by paying DeMar DeRozan $30 million. That just doesn't make sense to be a team that just fumbles around. So that's the way that I look at it. Very different situations. If Vooch was a free agent this season, I wouldn't be saying re-sign Nikola Vucevic either after the way this season is went. Haize, I don't care what they say about Lonzo Ball's health update. I'm still filing that career-ending injury on that ass. I mean, but then you may not get it, right? But I understand where you're coming from for that, for sure. Do the Bulls have their pick this year? Yes, they own their own first-round pick outright this year. Do you think Kobe and Ion improved this season? I think, yeah. What is that a question? Is that a serious, legit question, my friend? That was real? You typed that? Like, really? You talking about Kobe White, the player who's looked at as one of the most improved players of the year? Did he improve over averaging 9 points last season? Yeah, he's improved, brother. He's definitely improved, man. Billy's wife's not going anywhere. Hot take. If we have Patrick Beverly instead of Javon Carter, we would have a much better winning record. We'll see. Lonzo's contract can't. No, it can't. It's only a 1-year deal. Oh, you're talking about the waive and stretch provision. Yeah, but why do that if you can do a career-ending injury exception? I get what you're getting at. You can waive and stretch him, and then pay that contract over time. But it's like, I mean, there's something to be said with that, right? So they would have to do it between July 1st and August 31st, and they paid over. I mean, that you could do that. Hopefully, we finally get answers on the secret extension in the offseason, so that's when it kicks in. Usually, when a player and coaches sometimes contracts are up, but we don't know Billy's. Yeah, it makes no sense that we have no idea how many years he signed for. Like that, that's crazy. Because you would think that if you're proud of it, then you would say that. Jesus Devontae Christ doesn't know the terms of Billy's extension. That's crazy. That's wild. Zoa says, who do you think fits best in the roster, Missy or Filipowski? I like Filipowski on this roster. I really do. Maybe the rumor is wrong and Billy got a different type of secret extension. Oh, he got the no Diddy. That's crazy. If Vooch were a guard or forward, we could have let him go, but he's a true 7-footer. Those are not easy to replace overnight at any level, especially with the center market last year, free agency. Most of the centers that we had pegged as could be Vooch replacements all signed to their teams early on. So that's another aspect of it. Could you imagine Billy assistant coach having no chance in hell getting that promotion? So why give Billy the best of it? No, because you teams talk. And so as an assistant coach, you always want to give your best foot forward because that's how you get head coaching jobs in the future, whether it's on this team or on another team. So no. Do you think they still go about making moves thinking Lonzo's coming back, or do you look to move on from him? You can't plan around Lonzo anymore. You just can't. If he comes back and he plays great, cool. Let that be an unexpected surprise, but you can no longer plan the future of your team around anything to do with Lonzo. Haize, a crackhead can do much better job rebounding and playing defense than Nikola Vucevic. Look at Shea. That's crazy. Haize, off top. Besides Illinois, what college team do you like watching in the tournament? Oh, I just love watching the tournament. North Carolina, definitely. Creighton, definitely as well. Hey, I could be wrong, but I really do think AK is waiting to see if Lonzo could make a comeback. I mean, I think in some sense, yeah, but I don't think he's waiting to make serious moves on this team, hoping that Lonzo is going to save it. Haize, do you think that Javonte Green signs with the Bulls for the rest of the season? Well, they can do one more 10-day contract before they have to make that decision. So We'll see. I think it comes down to if Julian Phillips looks like he's going to be cleared or not. But that's my time for today, guys, man. I'm about to go do Locked On with Pat. Make sure you guys follow the show, man. I appreciate you guys so much. You can follow us at Bull Central Pod. Also hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys are also, you can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all.